Hello, good evening. Have you been feeling anxious because of COVID-19? Do you feel worried or do you feel fearful or are you depressed? Maybe you're worried because of money. Where do I get finances to provide for my family? Or maybe you're afraid or fearful that you might contract the disease. I have been and still am. Sometimes anxiety really takes hold of me that my heart rate goes up. I understand what you are feeling right now. Or maybe if you're have been anxious these past days, I also am and is experiencing it sometimes. Last year, I had pneumonia and it was really a bad experience for me. I had on and off fever and this really bad dry cough. After many days of being in the house, we decided to go to the hospital and have me checked. And when my X-ray result came, I was diagnosed of pneumonia and gastritis and UTI. So with those diseases, I was hospitalized for about 5 days or 5 days. And when I went out of the hospital, our bill was 60,000 pesos. And up until now, we have not yet recovered the money that we have spent for my hospitalization. We have applied for an insurance, but it's 1 year and 4 months now, but there's no response yet from the insurance company. So we have not recovered the 60,000 pesos that we have paid for my hospitalization. Aside from that, the experience really traumatized me. The bad experience again of having this bad cough, plus the fever, plus the gastritis, and I cannot really sleep well at night. It was really bad, but what made it worse was that I was contagious and I was afraid for my family. I was afraid for my friends. I did not like friends to visit me because they might contract the disease and I can hug them. I cannot ask them for support that I really need at that time of my life. And I had to wear a mask. And that's why now I am really afraid of contracting the disease. Sometimes, again, it really takes hold of me. But then I find hope from the Bible. When I look at Jesus Christ and when I focus on his love, I see that whatever may befall me, Jesus is with me. In the Bible, in Isaiah 41, we see here God's promises. Whenever we are afflicted, whenever we are afraid. Let's read the Bible in Isaiah 41, verse 10. God says, "Fear thou not, for I am with thee. Be not dismayed, for I am thy God. I will strengthen thee. Yea, I will help thee. Yea, I will uphold thee with the right hand of my righteousness." Verse 13, "For I, the Lord thy God, will hold thy right hand, saying unto thee, Fear not, I will help thee." Well, these are precious promises from our Father in heaven, and He tells us today that He will strengthen us, that He will uphold us, and that there is nothing to fear because He will help us. Verse 17, the Bible says, "When the poor and needy seek water, and there is none, and their tongue faileth for thirst, I, the Lord, will hear them. I, the God of Israel, will not forsake them." Verse 18, "I will open rivers in high places, and fountains in the midst of the valleys. I will make the wilderness a pool of water, and the dry land springs of water." When we are thirsty, there is no water that could quench our thirst. Jesus, God, will open rivers in places, in fountains in the midst of the valleys, and even make a wilderness a pool of water, and dry land springs of water. God has 1,000 ways of which we know nothing. And whenever we are afflicted, whenever we are overcome with fear, when we come to Jesus, He will make ways for us to live, to be strong, and He will give us a lot of reasons not to fear because He has promised and He will do it. Honestly, this is a time for me to learn what faith really is. I have been serving God for many years now, but for the first time in my life, I really experienced constant stress from things that I cannot control. So I think that even though I am experiencing these things right now, these experiences are teaching me what faith really is. Because I cannot control COVID-19, I cannot control people. I can do things which I can do, but like washing of hands, wearing face masks, or doing my best to earn money. But there are things that I cannot see. But one thing for sure is that I have a God who promised that He will open rivers in high places, that I need not to fear, because He will strengthen me and He will be with me. So today, if you are feeling anxious, if like me, you are fearing, you're fearful, you're worried about many things, just remember God's promises that He will strengthen you and that you have nothing to fear. God bless and good night.